Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of To Sir with Love, also known as Bloody Reunion, a Korean horror movie from 2006. A small group of childhood friends have a reunion at their former teacher's rural house, but fall prey to a merciless killer. There were a plethora of unpleasant events that each of these students had in school, many of which involved their teacher. So you start to question why they showed up for this reunion at all, because they all pretty much hate her. But that becomes more clear as the film progresses. Tensions quickly rise between the characters, and things spiral out of control soon after. They begin dying, one at a time. Now, the beginning sequence of events, say like the opening 5 to 10 minutes, are frenetic and rather confusing when you try to connect them to the main plot synopsis. They kind of quickly rush through a subplot of a deformed child as well as a few other plot points. So what do these events at the beginning have to do with the main story exactly? You're kind of wondering this. But don't worry, things clear up later on. The story structure will make viewers think throughout its runtime to kind of put the pieces together, which does create an engaging viewing experience. The character interaction plays an important psychological role down the stretch. The teacher definitely had a cruel side to her back in the day, and some of the students have not fully recovered from the events of their childhood. Any one of the characters in this movie could be the killer. So it has like a murder mystery element to it. On the negative side, the development and motivations of the killer, while understandable at the very end, are not developed quite as much as I would have liked. It's enough, I guess, but not exactly compelling, Script almost distracts itself with all of the red herrings and things that it does to fool the viewer into guessing who the identity is of the killer. And it could have spent a little bit more time on the killer's motive and the development, I think. But, there's a lot of... It's complicated. The lead actress is Young-hee, who also appeared in Bedeviled and The Chaser. So if you're a fan of hers, that's one reason to watch this. She gives a good performance, as expected. At its heart, I do think To Sir with Love could actually be classified as a slasher film. The death scenes are occasionally gruesome, which gives it a little bit of an edge. There are some bloody knife attacks. There's a nasty corpse shot involving protractors that you would use in math class. And we also get the general feel of a slasher because the characters get killed one at a time. When people ask for recommendations for Asian slasher movies, I always recommend Evil Dead Trap first and foremost. But there are some others. Guard from the Underground, Present from the Kazuo Umezu manga horror theater franchise, and of course To Sir with Love. So there's a handful here to check out. But in this film, there are also a few creepy scenes as well to kind of help balance things out. It's not just a violent movie. Direction, I would say, is rather basic in this. It never really elevates itself stylistically to the level of a high-quality 1970s giallo film or even other violent Korean thriller horror films that came after this. There are a few scenes of distracting camera work as well. There's a few discussions where they'll show a character talking, and the camera will kind of zoom in and then zoom out. And I was really kind of distracted by that. I didn't really understand that decision. Not one of my favorite stylistic choices in this. But I do think overall, this is a good psychological slasher movie, is what it is. It's got enough red herrings to keep you guessing. It's got enough violence to keep you satisfied, and just the overall quality is pretty good. It does feel a little bit low budget, though, I would say. But still, I do recommend this if the premise sounds interesting to you. Most readily available on DVD under the title Bloody Reunion. And as always, I will see you next time.